Blind people are the only ones who can peep without shame. This pianist often pretended to be blind and went to other people's homes to play the piano, inadvertently uncovering many secrets. The pianist was thrilled about it, but never realized that pretending to be blind would become his life's biggest regret. One day, he was invited by a wealthy man to play the piano at his home. Mary, the wealthy man's wife, opened the door. Strangely, Mary seemed reluctant to let him in. Mike felt puzzled, but since he had already been paid, he insisted on entering. Just as they were arguing, an elderly lady next door was awakened by the noise, and Mary had no choice but to let him in. After helping Mike sit down, he was overjoyed. He had never touched such a luxurious piano before, and he began to play skillfully. However, suddenly Mike was startled. There was a corpse lying in the corner of the room. The piano music abruptly stopped, and Mike was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. He hurriedly said that he needed to use the restroom. To his surprise, a burly man with a gun was hiding in the bathroom. Mike felt a chill down his spine, but he could only continue to pretend he couldn't see. He returned to the living room and continued to pretend to play the piano while secretly observing Mary and the burly man handling the corpse. To cover up the truth, Mary took out a recording of the wealthy man to make Mike believe that he was still alive. At the same time, the burly man changed into the wealthy man's clothes and left with the suitcase. Fortunately, Mike's acting skills were superb, and Mary didn't suspect him. Instead, she let him leave safely. Mike hesitated for a long time on the roadside, and finally decided to report the case to the police station. However, he never imagined that the police chief was the burly man from earlier. Seeing the police chief's fierce gaze, Mike instantly panicked. He had to lie and say that his cat was missing. The police chief suspected that he had a problem and came to Mike's home under the pretext of an investigation. The police chief picked up a pair of scissors, ready to threaten Mike, but Mike quickly reacted by suppressing his instinctive fear. Luckily, his kitten appeared just in time, dispelling the police chief's suspicions. The police chief thought he had complete control of the situation, so he began to round up nearby vagrants and force them to confess under torture, successfully finding a scapegoat. However, a new eyewitness appeared, the elderly neighbor lady. She told the police that on the day of the crime, the first person to enter the wealthy man's home was not Mary and the pianist, but the burly man. She suggested that the police investigate this man. Unfortunately, the police dismissed her as being nearsighted and didn't listen to her. They even told the police chief about it. As a result, the old lady was killed by Mary, and the police classified it as an accident. More unexpectedly, Mike witnessed this scene. Mary began to suspect him, worried that he was just pretending to be blind. So, she brought KFC to Mike and tried to test him in various ways. She poured a drug into his drink right in front of him. But Mike not only didn't drink it, but also knocked over the glass. Mary finally confirmed her guess. Seeing that he had been exposed, Mike had no choice but to confess that he would leave the city and not reveal the secret. Mary seemed relieved. However, Mike didn't know that the real nightmare had already quietly arrived. Just as he got up to leave, he suddenly collapsed. It turned out that Mary had already put the drug in the KFC.